Does this look normal? No. I'm stressed out. I've got to buy 3 different types of wines for 3 different occasions. First one, this weekend I'm having a house party. So I'm going to buy wine for people I don't know, and they're going to be drinking my wine. And I'm not going to buy bagged wine anymore. I'm over that. I'm going to buy something good quality, but fairly cheap, right? The next is my wife's anniversary. Me and my wife, 6-year anniversary. So of course I'm going to buy a good, great bottle of wine, but hopefully not break the bank, right? This is the most tough decision, is the third one. I've got to buy wine for my boss. We're having a dinner. Now, I don't want to buy a super expensive one. He's going to think I'm trying too hard. I'm not a suck-up, no. So I don't know what to get. Too expensive, too cheap.
If you're looking for a wine to go with a barbecue, I would say that the go-to wine is really a Shiraz from Australia, preferably from McLaren Vale or Barossa, with a lot of character. It's a wine that really appeals to a lot of people because it has fruit, it has spices, it has intensity, and yet if you're looking at food from the grill, which can be meats to seafood to vegetables, this is a wine that really can encompass and go with any of those flavors. And it's never failed me before. For a different occasion, if it's an anniversary and a special day where you want to spend with someone you love, the wine that I would strongly recommend that will impress and put you both in a great mood is a champagne. And a champagne from a producer like Krug, from a great vintage like 1996. These are the type of champagnes that will melt any girl's heart. The complexity, the delicacy, the finesse. And if you're ever in a business dinner and you have to impress clients, the easy way is to go for a big brand Bordeaux that everybody knows. But the way to really impress a client is to go for a Burgundy that really offers great value and at the same time gives you pleasure in the glass with its accessibility, its fruit character, its delicacy, its elegance. And some of the producers that I might recommend is Anne Gros from Vosne Romanée or Domaine Arlo from Moray Saint-Denis. These are producers that really won't break the bank and are not that expensive. The vintages to go for right now are 1990, 96, younger vintages that are really drinking well, 2001 or 2, and 3s as well because it was such a right vintage. So no matter what the occasion, there's always a perfect wine.
On our last episode of Jeannie with Friends, Jeannie and I brought our own families to enjoy a Chinese meal together. The real pleasure when having wine and food is, of course, sharing with your friends and your loved ones.
Anthony, great to see you.
Great to see you,
I'm
Jeannie.
so glad we had the opportunity to get together with our families.
Absolutely. This is my wife, Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn. Nice to meet you. And let me introduce you to my 2 daughters. They're twins,
I can see
Julia.
Beautiful.
and Christina, and my husband, Joe.
How you doing? Great to meet you all. So what do you have in store for us tonight?
Oh, we've got this wonderful spring onion pancake. And we have this fried fish. It would be interesting for us to try 2 very different wines, and you can see from just the color that the lighter one, which is the Pinot Grigio, from Alois Legeder. And Pinot Grigio is always easy to pair with anything. It's versatile. It has very sort of soft, muted, subtle flavors, a little bit of dill, maybe a bit of lemon. And then the darker color is a Chardonnay. And it's from Burgundy. It's a Meursault. So with Pinot Grigio, normally, I just say, if you don't want to think about what wine to choose with what food, serve a Pinot Grigio, because it's one of those versatile types of wine that goes with anything, so you don't have to think about it. It goes with all kinds of food, because it's just fresh, lively, easy. And the Meursault is a more serious wine, so it has a bit more substance, more body, But, with the flavors, maybe we need more body. It's going very well with the Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think?
I think it's better with Pinot Grigio.
Than the
Better
Marceau.
compliment.
Yes. So do you often have wine at home?
We
Anthony?
definitely do, yes.
We have more now thanks to the show. Tony's brought home better wine, so I'm very grateful.
bringing back
Thank
better
you.
wine. Yeah, so thank you for
You
that.
taught him a lot. I think you showed him a lot of tips, and so for my birthday, he brought home, I don't know which bottle it was, but he brought home a really nice bottle of wine, and he's never done that before.
Wow. I'm impressed.
The truth hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Sorry.
What can I say? And I'd like to thank you. It's been a great experience. Loved it. Cheers to you as well.
Nice to
Cheers.
finally meet you.
Yes. So we have this wonderful pigeon today, and I thought it would be great to pair it with red Burgundy from a producer called Prince Merlot. And it's a Corton, a Grand Cru, but
We all
drinkable.
love Grand Cru.
It's drinkable now because it's an 07 vintage. That means it's a bit softer, more open, and lovely to enjoy now. The question is, would you have something like this with something this spicy?
I think I would go for the white.
That's
Just
great.
because this is already spicy on its own.
Yes.
And even though I let it rest in my mouth for a bit and then had the wine, it still brought everything right back up.
Exactly.
So for me, this is very spicy. If it was Korean food, maybe I could do it because it's not as spicy as this. But yeah, it's quite
Well,
spicy.
for me, I think is the perfect answer. I think I solved my problem. I would have my spicy dish. I would boost it with the red wine.
Oh.
And to calm the fire down, I would have the white wine to neutralize it. So I have the best of both
that
worlds.
allowed?
Yes. Why not?
Why not?
Exactly.
you're
We're here
at
to
home,
experiment, right?
You can.
When you're
you can.
alone, you can
There's
do
no
whatever you
rules.
want.
There's no rules in wine tasting.
It's true. Yes, and very often, for a Chinese meal, especially if there's a spicy dish, we have a white and a red
Really?
at the same time.
Oh.
So you can choose and to mix and match.
Yeah, because this
Decide
does
what
go
works
really
better.
well with the pigeon.
Exactly.
Really nicely.
That's what it was supposed to complement.
Yeah.
But then the idea is, since we have the noodles at the end of every meal,
To test
and this
it
is
out.
very spicy, how does it work with the spices?
I thought I was onto a great idea. Red
You
and
are.
white together.
You are.
Okay. So what was your favorite part about Burgundy?
Oh.
Or our trip to France? What was your favorite part?
Yeah, there were so many. I think that it was great to really walk the vineyards with a lot of the growers. That was great, spending kind of more time in the scenery and in the vineyard.
And enjoying it rather
Yeah.
than just going through it.
What about for you? What was the most memorable?
Many different aspects of it. If I had to, I can't even pinpoint one. Obviously, there's just the experience of going to these chateaus, seeing being a male, we love to see how things are made. And to actually see the process and the steps that it takes to create such a wonderful wine. It was a truly wonderful experience. The education, I've just touched on a little bit of the vast education that there is to know, and I can't wait to learn more. And there's so many different other regions that we could explore together, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think the wine journey has just begun.
Yes, absolutely.
So great, thank you. Jocelyn, it was wonderful to meet you.
You too.
Yeah,
So nice.
wonderful.
Thank you.
And thank you, girls, for coming along.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, and you have no wine.
To explore the world of wine, follow us to France, the quintessential wine region of the world. First, Jeannie and I will head to Bordeaux, the oldest and largest wine growing region. Here, we will visit different chateaus, meet some of the biggest names in the wine world. We will also visit Burgundy, where premium Pinot Noir and Chardonnay are produced. After these trips, you may not be an expert in wine, but at least you'll know how to appreciate your glass of wine better. We have been touring Burgundy in many different ways. We've been to the vineyards, been to the streets and alleys, went into many different shops. This time, I want to do something special, to have a view from the top, to see the entire city and Burgundy vineyards from the sky. And the best way to do that? In a helicopter.
Nothing better than going on a whirlybird ride. Okay, this is great. We're going to see the beautiful town of Bourne. We're going to see the great domains and the vineyards. This is exciting. So come on, everyone. Let's go.
Well, unluckily the weather was not in our favor, but no worries. I could still see the vineyards in the little town of Bourne. I highly recommend viewing the vineyards from helicopter, even if you're scared of heights. Don't worry, it's totally safe. It gave me a true appreciation of the sheer beauty of all of the wine-growing regions in France. There's such an essence of old-world charm here that I'm sure will remain for centuries.
Fantastic.
Domaine Bouchard is a French wine grower, negociant, and producer based in Beaune, in the Côte de Beaune wine-growing region of Burgundy.
So Jeannie, we're here at Bouchard Terre de Fils, and it's beautiful. I hear it's one of the largest quality winemakers here in Côte d'Or.
Yes.
What else do you know about it?
Well, absolutely. The Bouchard family has been here for 9 generations.
9 generations?
Yeah.
Wow.
They started out as a textile trader, and they got into wine. And really, their history in this region, trading wine, is over 200 years. They're now one of the largest producers, owning over 130 hectares of land, making a dozen Grand Cru different wines, as well as over 70 different Premier Crus.
Wow, that's a lot to offer.
Exactly, and they have both a huge range of white wines and great reds.
Jeannie also interviews Christophe Bouchard, the managing director of the domain, to talk about the domain's history.
Christophe Bouchard, thank you for having me. I'm here at Bouchard Terre de Fils, and I'm really delighted to speak with the 9th generation of family member to be working at Bouchard Terre de Fils. Thank you very much. So, and I know that Bouchard has so many unique qualities that makes it very different from other domains and negociants in Burgundy. Can you tell us what are the 3 most unique and distinctive characteristics of Bouchard Terre de Fils?
Alors je pense que la Bourgogne est très compliquée, ça j'en suis sûr. Et un des points clés de la connaissance de la Bourgogne, c'est l'histoire. Quand on a vécu pendant plusieurs générations, on connaît les parcelles, les meilleures parcelles, les parcelles éventuellement moins qualitatives. Donc il faut une très grande connaissance du terroir. Ça c'est un point important. Le deuxième point, c'est la traçabilité. C'est pas un très joli mot, mais il faut connaître l'histoire des vins aussi. Quand on a vinifié un millésime, si ça a bien réussi, quand un millésime identique se représente, on peut reproduire le même schéma, faire les mêmes choix de dégrappage, de longueur de cuvaison, de soutirage, de bâtonnage, de filtration, et ça permet de reproduire ce qui a donné de bons résultats ou éventuellement d'éviter ce qui a donné de moins bons résultats par le passé. Et Puis un troisième point très important, c'est le travail d'équipe. Chez Bouchard, il n'y a jamais eu une personne qui connaissait tous les secrets, tous les modes de vinification. C'est toujours un travail d'équipe, ce qui permet à chaque fois qu'il y a une personne qui part de faire une transition et d'avoir une continuité et de prolonger l'histoire en fait.
Philippe Prost, the technical director, will show us their 10-meter deep underground cellar, which stored millions of bottles and includes some very rare collections. And he's going to show me the oldest bottle from the 18th century.
This is a 1865 bottle.
From 1865. This is like holding history right in my hand. Wow, it's beautiful. And it's a handmade bottle?
Oh yes, of course.
Wow. Well, it's worth more than my life, so I'm going to give it back to you.
Do you understand that this bottle sleep on the same place since more than 1 century? So it explains the exceptional tasting you can have with very old bottles.
I can imagine sleeping in the same place, in the same time, for over a century. It's going to age beautifully.
Fine.
A tasting is being held in the cellar as well with Jeannie, and they will try out the vintage from 2011 to 2013.
Vigne de l'Enfant Jésus. Every time when you open the bottle, the first message is the fruit. Maybe the bottle can be better after 10 years, aging, then it can age like a Grand Cru de Côte de Nuit.
I find it very floral, highly aromatic, and as you said, the fruit has come forward. And it's a really, for the vintage, 2011, would you consider it a big, intense vintage or more of a slimmer, lighter vintage?
2011 was so open and charming. The first impression is it can be a little bit light, but with the after tasting, you understand the complexity, also the minerality for the vintage.
So now we move on to the Gevrey Chambertin 2012.
Gevrey Chambertin is the most important for us. Today we vinify more than 10 hectares. So it means really something. And the great chance is we take care of everything.
In the vineyard. This wine to me tastes incredibly young first, and also the tannin and concentration level seems very high for a village wine. I can almost imagine the skin and juice ratio being very, very dense and concentrated. And I would say that really right now it's in 2012, very new, but I would wait at least 2 or 3 years. Should we try the last wine now, which is the last red, the Corton 2013?
The last red, maybe a late harvest we have because you pick on the end of August this one, 2011, 1 month later with 2013.
Oh.
I show you a Grand Cru with Le Corton. Today it's a baby, of course.
Of course, 2013.
Yeah. Le Corton, since the beginning, we are up the hill. It is explosive.
It is explosive. It's very fruity right now. Lots of dark fruits, blackberries, cherries and spices.
Yeah.
What a wonderful journey. Anthony, I know this was your first time in Bordeaux and Burgundy. What were your impressions?
Well, Jeannie, this has been a fabulous trip. The whole journey, when I first started, I knew nothing about wine. When I was a beginner, it was embarrassing, really. But now I know how to pair foods with wines. I know how to make wines. I've seen how it's made. I know how to taste wines. I know what to look for. I even know how to invest in wines. The trip over to France was beautiful. I got to see the sights, the beautiful chateaus and domains, and really experience like what life is really like for these people, the people who give us such joy in the wine. And I can't put it into words how incredible this was. I know you've been there quite often, so how was it for you?
Well, I discovered all over again what Bordeaux was all about. Grandeur, majestic chateaus, great producers, a real diversity of wines and styles and of people. And it's a very intellectual style made from Cabernet and Merlot grapes. Very serious. Then we went on to Burgundy, which was, again, very different experience with Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. You get sensuality, you get finesse, you get elegance. And we went on this journey and learned also about food and wine pairing. And all of this, I think, was really, really gratifying for me.
So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or an expert. We hope that you enjoyed everything that we offered you on this show, because it was a great journey. And there's one thing to remember, is In Vino Veritas.
In wine, there is truth.